welcome back. It's been a number of weeks since we last saw you. We had Gen Con, we had some break for our own personal little hiatus and what needed to be done. Um, but we're back now, and we've missed you. Uh, to those of you that saw us at Gen Con, welcome. We appreciated meeting you guys, and we hope you guys had a great trip home and everyone is back safe and sound. For now, though, there are no further announcements, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. And let's go ahead and meet our players, shall we?
What's up, everybody? It's me, Avery, at Avery DuBois on all the social media platforms. I'm a community ambassador right here on the Rolling Nomads, and you'll see me doing stuff a little bit everywhere. I style myself as something of an internet personality, but this evening I will be playing the Slick Serpent, EREBUS guy.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Yeah, it's me, Edge the Nomad, or Edge Survival. Of course, I play TREY, ESBRICK. Um, yeah, I'm ready to get into it.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. Warren playing Victor BELLSHANE. See how this unfolds.
Indeed. With our K-Nights having been met, let's go ahead and jump right into tonight's episode of Book of Saints. We begin each episode as we always do with a recap. Victor, if you would kindly.
I will do my best. So, if my memory is what it once was, last time we began the escapades of kidnapping Ferenza's ghoul and interrogating him. He tried to bite off his own tongue. That was interesting. He refused to give us anything, but he is still our prisoner. And we picked up Maggie again, Magdalena, the touchstone of Fernando Villarreal, in order to have her properly dominated and uphold our word. During this time, myself and Erebus, were also instructing our new Canaanites as to their role in the ways of our world. We made our way down to see the Peacenobs. Arrived in a very broken town, ripe with death. That was where we left you.
And that is indeed where we pick up. We all step out of the vehicles. Again, there are homeless and the unhoused in this area. They don't feel the same things you do. They don't feel the death in the air. Perhaps they do and just don't care. What you do see is a figure off not too far in the distance, leaning up against the chapel door. Nothing cloaked or matching the 17th century architecture with 17th century clothing. This figure is hooded with a zip up jacket, black cargo pants, and what looks just like sandals. Leather straps over the feet. They're just leaning. And as you all get out of the vehicles, takes their hands out of their pocket and beckons you closer.
EREBUS will just look over to Victor. What do you want to do?
I'm going to start walking over there. Trey, if you would, text that number. Let's see if the phone goes off.
Well, what you want me to say?
Is this you?
The sandals? All right. I'll go ahead and text the number, um, and just type like sandals, eye emojis.
There's no reply that comes through your phone. Just from across the cement and concrete. You can see an individual pulls a phone and flashes it in your direction.
Yeah, I didn't get a reply.
With my vigilant merit, other than him, are we being watched?
Other than him, just by the unhoused population, people on the streets. Again, it doesn't seem like anybody else of supernatural means is here.
I approach him. Hello.
Did you already leave?
I said I was approaching him, and as I did, I told you to text him.
Oh, we was walking towards him as. Oh, okay. My bad. Do we
Individual,
have everybody with us?
you have the three of you, I believe, with the woman that you had intended to have her have them use the gift of dominate. The only person who's not with you, I believe, is Jason, and of course Alejandro, who has been in a coma for a good chunk of time. But
And we
then-
have Ferenza's ghoul and Victor and I's new childer.
and I believe your gangrel companion, Monique. For some reason, her name escaped me. Monique is either with you or, if I recall, organizing other efforts for tonight, if I'm not mistaken, or was she with you guys? I don't recall.
I think she was with us. I think we brought everybody because her and Trey went to grab Maggie, and myself, Erebus, and the two newbies grabbed the ghoul.
She's with
Okay.
us.
Noted.
Yeah, we don't
Erebus
split
is-
up no more.
Erebus is just gonna kind of be like watching the energy between Monique and Trey, seeing if they unconsciously are registering something that he isn't.
Monique seems cautious, kind of keeping her eye not just on the individual, but kind of in a more obvious sense than you were, keeping an eye on the surrounding area, kind of scowling at the unhoused populations, the ones that look a little more ready for a fight, kind of sizing you all up. Victor, I assume you're in your normal garb, correct? The red suit?
Yeah. Didn't think to change.
Victor himself is a flashy gentleman, and you can see a number of these individuals. They don't look like, and this is not to speak for the unhoused population of Mexico City, but these individuals seem like they're ready to take. They're ready to seize opportunity, and Victor is a shining beacon of opportunity. So she's scowling at them and trying to dissuade. That might be a little bit too brave.
Hear that, Trey? It don't matter which side I fought for. I'm a beacon of opportunity.
I feel like context is key here, but let's continue.
Victor, you approach, you say hello.
Yes. Hello, sir. It is a man, right? Can I tell their gender?
Unfortunately, no. Making an assumption. You can, of course, just say hello.
I'm just gonna say hello.
Fair.
Hold up. You said sandals. What do their feet look like?
What do their feet... Actually, that's a very interesting question. And what a strange turn this has suddenly taken. Trey. Hoping to discern a bit more about this individual. Their feet look rotted. They look like there are... The pinky toe on their left side is nothing but bone. Looks like they've lost toenails and are actively rotting.
Probably should wear some socks. Listen,
Please tell me you said that in character.
I mumbled it to myself, you know.
You say hello. This person kind of looks up at you and smiles. There's still a bit of shadow that covers their face. But you can tell the smile is broken, the lip torn, the cheeks sunken. This is a corpse. This is, for all intents and purposes, a zombie, perhaps, but this is unsettling. There's no smell. There's no scent of decay, or at least not that you're immediately aware of. They smile. As they speak, it's when the waft of death takes the air. It smells like grave dirt, Victor. It smells like the burial mounds. Hello.
I assume you're here to lead the way, as it were.
Habla español.
No habla español.
Sí.
I'll put a hand on Victor's shoulder, and Erebus will speak in Nahuatl.
I'm gonna point straight at him.
Say, I know the bones that this country was built on, and I think you do too. I think they're your bones.
The smile widens, tears the flesh a bit more. We are the bones of this country. They return your, they reply to you, Erebus, in Nahuatl.
He'll bow his head in respect. And just say, it pleases the winged serpent that I've been able to make this meeting happen. Is there anywhere we can go to talk more privately, perhaps?
Switch to a broken bit of Spanglish here. Sí. Ven aquí. Come with me. They open the doors to the chapel. No lock. No breaking of the wood. It's clean. A bit barren and dusty. There's a few pews. There's an altar in the back. It's clean. They usher you to the confessional, a smaller booth, older style. They open the door, gesture for you to enter, but they say, hold up their fingers, tres, and they continue in waddle. It can only fit 3 at a time. The others will have to wait. Down below, another will bring you. Camilo is waiting.
And Erebus will turn and relay this information to the others. I think you should go first, Victor. With TREY and with Monique, I'll follow shortly.
You agree, Victor?
That sounds fine. Don't forget our guests.
Wouldn't dream of it.
I will enter.
Step in. There's space, maybe, for the 3 of you. You squeeze in. And it looks like this figure is waiting for the others to step in as well. Monique looks to you, TREY.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, you get middle seat, bud.
All right. Good. I'll get middle seat, but I'm keeping my leg space.
What is it that they call this? Skiing, right?
The figure kind of grins and closes the door after Monique enters. And Erebus, you can see them take the hood back. It's worse than you could have imagined. They're missing an eye. The bone is clearly visible, sunken. Their hair is thin. It looks like their skin is just ready to peel off. as if you were to scratch a scab and pull back an entire clump of flesh.
Smile and cross himself. A la Santa Muerte.
Men, they take the priest's side of the confessional. There's a pause. The screen, the only thing that separates the three of you and this figure. Tell me your sins.
I'm confused.
Tell me your sins.
What if they're like pretty big?
Tell
Like
me your
everything?
sins.
We've
Is this some kind of test to see if we may meet?
Tell me your sins.
I have killed a lot. I have betrayed.
The confessional, for those of you that are unfamiliar, is a simple thing. It's a box separated by wood, partition, a screen so that you might look upon the face of the priest, though it is poor form to do so, as the priest is facing away, facing to the side of you. They're not meant to see you. Not really. But you could make out details if you peer through, if you look. The screen is to speak through, not to try to discern the identity. Your sins are meant to be yours, lost among the flock and condoned for, or atoned for, in secret. Looking at the screen is figure. You can see the rotten flesh, the wisps of hair. And as you give your confession, Victor, there's a click. Something changes. The floor beneath you loosens. Te perdono. And you begin to drop. Quickly, you descend. You fall. It's not a free fall, it's not an elevator with a cut cord, but it is quick, alarming, and dark. And in the darkness, it's difficult to tell if it's going faster and faster. Maybe it is. The figure laughs, echoing through the chamber, for a sudden stop. It makes you jerk and jump in your seats. You realize now that there is no door. There is no separation between you and exiting. There's a single torch illuminating. You are open. The bench open. Partition the only wall on this platform. This makeshift elevator is meant to descend you into somewhere. Hell, perhaps. The figure steps out of off of the platform and bids you to do the same.
I'll follow.
same. Also, would like it to be known that I do have sense unseen. So, yeah.
Yeah, wits and awareness, please.
5 successes.
You see a figure a little bit further down the hall, kind of tucked into the shadows. They are obfuscated. This is a sort of long hallway. They're shorter than their counterpart, but they are left unclothed from the waist up. You can see open sores and gray, dead skin. This figure that has escorted you down thus far steps out and beckons them closer. They step up quickly, grabbing the torch off of the wall. They exchange a few words in whatever language EREBUS spoke. The shorter one looks to you all and says, "Él espera. The meal waits."
Would it be acceptable for us to wait for our allies?
There is more. See.
Gracias.
Figure steps back onto the platform. And you can see now under the seat, just in arm's reach, is a number of levers. They wave with a smile, flicking a few of the levers and begin to reascend. While this is going on, Erebus, what are you up to while you wait in the chapel?
What's the confessional look like from the outside when they go down?
As they go down, just two doors. You heard the clicks. You heard the mechanism.
If I open the door and look
A
down.
pit. Not even. They took the partition with them, so it isn't a larger box than you opening one door should allow, but it is a deep black pit.
Erebus will shut the door and then just kind of look around the chapel. It reminds him of a place that he lost.
Indeed. There are arches of sandstone, depiction of the Sacred Heart and St. Joseph. There's the saints on the wall, possibly newer than, well, most likely newer than the actual chapel itself. The main image on the altar is of the Immaculate Conception, dressed in blue and white and flanked by the images of the Sacred Heart and St. Joseph. The
It's
whole
a nice
place.
story.
It is. The whole place is quarried sandstone and horizontal stone. Everything else that's
No
been added
obsidian?
is different. Everything else that's been added is very clearly. It's easy to tell from the architecture of it. Everything that is a horizontal or a sandstone is original architecture. Things that have been added are made to look the same. But go ahead and give me a wits and awareness.
Could I leverage investigation?
Absolutely.
I don't believe my drawing conclusion specialty is going to help me here.
I don't believe so, really.
4 successes.
4 successes. There's not anything large made of obsidian. Nothing that's immediate to the eye, but you have, in this moment, about 5 minutes as you peek down and see them descended. As you kind of meander about, you can see the eyes of certain statues, certain figures. They are of indigenous angels. They are black with obsidian.
He'll just kneel in front of one of them and take a moment in silence to himself. And wait for them to come back.
Only takes him about 5 minutes, maybe 7 at the most. You hear the mechanisms click. The door opens. A slight creak. Figure stands, hood still down.
Give one last bow of his head to the obsidianite angel and stand, and he'll usher in the 2 new childer and the ghoul between the 2 of them next, and then he'll come down with Magdalena last, and he'll just lean over to the priest and say, "They're both newborns. They're sinless."
This figure goes over to the 2 of them, placing a thumb on each of their foreheads. They speak in the waddle. Blessed are the youth. Let the children come to me. And then a bit more aggressively, perhaps, rather than ushering them into the confessional, they sort of shove them, pushing them toward the box.
I'll just look them over for a moment. Say, All are of the Father, and so the way that we conduct with our neighbors reflects upon the Father.
Nod. It's the two, just the two children going down.
And the ghoul that we stole from Forenza.
The
Yeah.
ghoul, yes, yes. Not still unconscious, if I'm not mistaken. Correct.
Unconscious and tongueless, yes.
Right, right. This figure looks you over and looks up toward the angels and retreats back into the confessional, closing the door behind them. You hear not the same words from your companions. They speak, nonetheless. Tengas miedo. Be not afraid. And then they laugh. A bit forced. A bit possibly for effect. Maybe testing the new youths. But you swear you hear the mechanism give way a bit quicker. They descend. And for their part, the new children are not screaming. You hear some gasps as they begin to descend. You are left alone. Well, as alone as you can be, again, EREBUS.
He'll just look over Magdalena for a moment.
She's horrified.
Are you frightened of death?
Who wouldn't be?
Faithful.
I've struggled with faith.
He'll hold his hand out. It's all right. He'll wait for her to take his hand.
Take some time.
And he'll put her hand to his chest. What do you feel?
Nada.
Does that frighten you?
I don't know how you could exist.
I can show you.
This is a house of God.
Plural. This is a house of gods. And I will activate all at a level 3.
You don't need to make any roll. She's just immortal.
We are not like gods. And we do not fancy ourselves to be. There are things worth having faith in that curb the fear of death. And I hope one day you will not recoil at the sight of me. I think we're going to be very good friends, Magdalena.
The picture from her perspective, at least for this, for the point of this. You are a figure who, surrounded by night and shadow in a church to what she understands to be God, what you know to be multiple, surrounded by indigenous angels, a stranger, this thing that should not exist, exuding confidence and welcome and beauty, standing in a house of the gods, gods who she doesn't quite understand, the faith she struggled with. Things are unfolding this night she has no comprehension of. Her whole view of reality has changed, and there you are among indigenous angels with black eyes, watching the two of you have a simple conversation.
I think not even truly taking any blood, he'll just raise her arms to cup his face, as in her view, everything but the glittering onyx eyes of these angels has faded into the blackness which surrounds EREBUS. And he'll just barely nick her with his fangs, just enough to call it a bite.
Drops to her knees. EREBUS, with your humanity rating, you are a predator. Very clearly. Sharp eyes. The aura, even with awe, is inhuman. It's beautiful yet strange, this sort of eldritch attraction. She begins to pray the most quiet, the most short, the simplest prayer. The Bible's passage. Jesus wept.
He did. I was there. I will show you what it is to be unafraid of death. I will show you what Fernando was afraid to show you. And that is the fact that you have always had the power and the divine inside of you. You were the powerful one. I'll drop all and help her up off her knees.
You do this. We'll get back to you very, very shortly. While the platform ascends, you will... Victor, Trey, and Monique, you are left with this other shorter figure, this dead thing, this zombie, this corpse. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Not particularly from my end. Just kind of waiting.
I'll try to make conversation.
Mm-hmm. What do you say?
Habla English.
Poquito, a little.
Not to be rude or anything, but you know, is this like a NOS thing, something similar, or?
Poquito. I am Somdi. Not all of us were gifted with beautiful faces through the dinner.
What dinner? I'm just trying to learn a little bit. What, I'm not familiar with the dinner. You know.
We are your Jason, his cousin.
Oh, so like a family dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How you know Jason? Do you actually know Jason, or?
See?
Oh. I side eye Victor.
What?
Nah, I'm just giving you a side eye. Unless you asked me. Did you ask me what?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. They're cousins. Or not blood cousins. They're
Kind of. From what I've been led to understand, correct me if I'm wrong, the dinner was when the Hecata formed. It was when you all came together. And did you not share blood at the dinner? That is why some of you were gifted with the beautiful faces and some were not.
Your history is broken. You know things you shouldn't. Someone
Jason
spoke this to you.
Jason was not the first Hecata I have been aligned with.
Yeah, that's why I'm at a loss for words, because he doesn't really say much,
They're not supposed to.
Who did you meet?
I can't tell you that. They'd be in danger, would they not?
We are the bastard sons and daughters of Hecate. We don't serve her. We don't serve the Hecata. We remember. We are family, but estranged.
Can I guess maybe, can I get your perception of what's happening in Mexico City?
See, colonizers fight colonizers. You fight for a land that is not yours. Your his struggle, looking for the word, forebears, ancestors took Mexico. We stayed. We remember the Giovanni, the Rossellini, Nagaraja, and everyone else, all who came to claim. Colonizers fight colonizers. But you ask for us. I think Camille wants to know why. We haven't been asked for in years.
What was their name again?
Out of character, Camille. Camilo.
Camille. Well, thank you for sharing that.
See. The platform drops. You can see the confessor's side is filled with the two children, as well as the now unconscious and gagged ghoul. They step off, a bit confused.
Wave them over.
Come over.
Have a nice trip.
No. No. The moment they're off the platform, the individual gives another big smile and a wave as they hit the switches and reascend. Anything else, gentlemen?
There are 2 more upstairs.
Correct. Shorter figure nods.
If there is anything big, I will just try to make small talk to get to learn, more about them.
Go ahead and give me persuasion, and I can see charisma or manipulation, your choice. Depending on how you really want to approach
them. Charisma?
While he's doing that, I'm going to take my childer a little bit off to the side and start continuing his education on the basics.
Understood.
7 with a regular crit.
Yeah, you are able to sort of make small talk. You kind of ask the right questions. You're not coming off the wrong way or being insulting, really. So really, if you're trying to garner information, let me know what you'd like to know.
I guess more of basis of like their position. I know they said they're the black sheep. Also the religious aspect of what they got going on around here. Yeah, those would be the 2 big things. And I guess just to add on, if Jason ever spoke about us, out of curiosity.
What you gather in this interim, and we'll come back to you guys. This won't be your guys' last opportunity to chat with these individuals before EREBUS comes down. What you are able to gather in this time frame, though, is that they've not spoken with Jason, not personally, but they know of Jason, especially the work that has been done in Mexico City. There's a confession that they have eyes and ears everywhere. They are embedded. They are the bones of this city. It's a phrase that comes up a lot. They are the corpse of what Mexico City used to be. But they haven't spoken with Jason. They've just watched with interest. As far as them being kind of like the bastard son of the Hecata, they are still very much Hecata. There are members that were invited to the family dinner, but they are divorced from the politics of the Hecata. at least as much as anyone can be. They keep to themselves. They keep to the fringes of Mexico City. This is their home. They don't care about Italy. They don't care about the Giovanni. They don't care about Augustus. They don't care. A lot of these individuals, from what you can gather from this talking, this one, remember when before there was a united clan of death, and when necromancy was scattered, when it was different from region to region, when the Caribbean had a different type of necromancy, when Africa had a different type of necromancy, when Mexico had a different type of necromancy, and they still practice, and they keep it to themselves because the Hecata are a growing cancer. They recognize that their family is consuming, and Mexico City has been consumed enough. So they'll keep to themselves and they'll help where they can. They keep to the promise, much like the Kimmery and the Hecata are wont to do. But what they care about is the land, is the blood, the lineages, the languages that have been kept alive, the culture that is kept alive through syncretism, the things that are in danger of being lost. We pan our camera back up to you, Erebus. As the elevator ascends, what are you up to?
Has his arm around Magdalena's shoulder, just stroking her hair. Notes that it can sometimes take a little bit of cool down when intense religious fervor is thrust upon someone. This isn't his first rodeo. She needs a bottle of water and a good sit down, but we don't have those resources on us at the moment. So
Absolutely.
she'll have to settle for just a sit down.
She takes her time.
He's just waiting for the priest.
In a number of moments, the mechanisms click, the door opens. I look to the remaining two.
Erebus will take Magdalena's hand and step up to the confessional in nomine patri and escort her in first and then sit down himself.
Doors close. The figure clears their throat. Tell me your sins.
Disculpa me, padre. It has been some time since I've had my last confession. I've taken the Father's name in vain. I have coveted after my brother's flock. I have procreated recklessly. I have fed to indulgence. But most importantly, I've put false idols before our Dark Father.
Te perdono, mijo. I forgive you. Hear the mechanisms click, and you begin to descend. Slower, you think? There's no cause for screaming. Perhaps it's out of kindness for the mortal you sit with. Perhaps it's because
Nahuatls through the screen. You drop the ones that lie to you fastest.
I condemn the ones that don't take these things seriously. To lie to me is no great sin. To lie to oneself, that is truly condemnable.
And yet all of these practices are not yours. This confessional, the white collar of a priest, your God's carved hearts at the top of ziggurats.
Night is still young.
A man might think that your beliefs have been put in a cage. The Camarilla does not allow you to sacrifice. As is befit of your gods, they force you into holes in the ground when you should be offering hearts to the open moon. This is your birthright, not to be thrust into these caverns, waiting for your bat god to come for you and wreak your ultimate death. You are not food for Kamazats.
Yes.
You belong with us.
We belong with the one that invented war. Tonight you meet him.
It was good of you not to scare the girl.
She is precious, Flock. And as I said, the night is young.
What would you think if she were to remain here with you?
Is she to be a gift?
She's not mine to offer. But if a man were wise, a man could make certain negotiations.
We have survived by taking the new things and mingling them with the old. Santa Muerte, Hispanic Catholicism, all of it.
Yet
Dia
I
de
see
los
no
Muertos.
and yet I see no great statue of the Baron.
The Baron has his place here.
Hope I'm welcome enough to see it.
The night is young. We fade back down to all of you. Is there anything of note that you'd like to discuss or do? Then in a few moments, slower now, you can see with the light of the torch and having two comparisons to draw from, slowly, slower than before, the platform descends. This figure steps out and offers a hand to Magdalena, who recoils. This
Take
figure-
his hand. He is your host. You are not afraid of death.
She hesitates and gently reaches out. They take it and help her off the platform. Look to the rest of you. Erebus, do you depart?
He will, but first he'll take the priest's hands in his, and he'll kiss the backs of each of the priest's hands. And then he'll join his pack. Quite the journey.
Before you release this priest's hands, they look at you and smile and say, "You are a child of the smoking mirror. Perhaps you belong with us."
I'm a child of Quetzalcoatl. My place is the open sky. And I hope one day you will join me there.
Smile, and move back to the platform, and reascend. Rejoin your friends.
Quite the journey.
It has only just begun.
Refreshing. Shall we?
I'll start to step forward to the other robed man. This is everybody.
The meal waits. Come. Speak freely. You may discuss with yourselves whenever you like. I know that this can be concerning. Begin to lead. By torchlight, your group is quite a large number, going through carved pathways and caves. You're free to discuss, if you so choose, whatever you'd like.
Actually, I would, Erebus, what would be a proper greeting in their tongue?
A gift with a beating heart That would be a proper greeting in their tongue. Hearts are
be
sacred
why.
to them. Specifically, hearts.
Why we brought him.
That's why I think you'll make a good greeting. Much of my interactions with the descendants of Tenochtitlan, much of our interaction has been done without words. They're people of deep symbology. And so to give and give in abundance, and to give with meaning, is often worth more than any word. You must understand their gods are not unlike us. In fact, though I never made it this far west in those days, I wouldn't be surprised if their gods were exactly like us. They're bloodthirsty, and they crave blood in its abundance. My concern is the abundance of gifts that you've brought. I think your gift is of a fine quality, but I am yet unconvinced as to if it is a gift or a miserly offering, as far as they will be concerned. And unfortunately, I don't have those answers for you, Victor.
It's something we will have to see.
If he is not enough, are you prepared to give more?
What do you refer?
The only other beating heart among us.
That would be breaking our vow. Cannot.
With whom? A dead man?
Not agree that a vow made to the dead is even more sacred than one to the living?
When you start to tie yourself down with things like that, our specific condition then becomes much more difficult. You said it yourself, I heard you. You've betrayed. You confessed that sin. Was that not breaking a vow to one who is dead?
Why do you think I hold it in such regard? Not something I am eager to do again.
If I may interrupt real quick.
By all means.
I think, like, technically, we're all dead. But he's, like, dead. But, yeah, I just wanted to make just an input.
I understand. I mean no disrespect in saying so. I just ask so that you may be prepared. That's all. I only ever hope to counsel.
If they saw fit, I would be more than prepared to go and grab somebody else for them. But my word, our word, is nothing we can break.
Is it worth dying over? Your word.
Part of our way and our path.
I understand. Again, I merely seek to counsel. That's all, Victor.
It takes time to get through these halls, and you see other tunnels that have connected. Sense the unseen, you can see lurkers in the shadows. Even without it, there are some people that are watching these intersections. Not all of them bear dead faces. Down here, they're more traditional. Less common clothing is seen. Begin to see jewelry. Cloth cut from the skins of jaguars. Colors of gold. The strange blue of turquoise. Your watchers are ancestral. Finally, at the end of all this, being leered at and watched, you arrive at a door. Carved wood. Ill fit for this jagged cavern. It depicts a figure painted red, holding what looks like a skin that they're peeling from themselves. Their arm, the only thing left covered that is not painted in that red coloring. They are flaying themselves. Your guide gestures. Camille waits and grabs the handle of this door, pushing in. And that is where we're going to take a brief 5-minute intermission. We'll see you all very, very shortly. See you soon. Hello. We have returned. We hope that you guys got some water. I got some stretches in, excuse me. I got Dr. Pepper, so I'm going to be a little bit bubbly, but that's fine. We return now to our Canaanites. You step through the door, if you so choose. Your guide steps through and beckons you in. A larger chamber. More detailed, more closely cut the stone has been here. Still very natural. The floor, though, is flat, or at least flat to you. Taking a level to it, I'm sure you'd find some hiccups and things here. Adorning the walls are pelts and hunted heads. And I say this with the full meaning of that these are pelts and hunted heads, not just of animals. You see people, perhaps somehow preserved skins of Canaanites. You see icons, statues, carvings into the wall in the style of the old Mexico. You see the feathered serpent, as he is depicted traditionally. This is not some tapestry. This is not some painting, some artist's rendition. This is the blocked carvings. Quetzalcoatl in his glory. You see Xipitotec, the flayed god. The largest carving, the back of the room, just behind a chair. One really couldn't call it a throne, though it takes the position of one. Animal pelts of fur lead up to this chair. Stone braziers of flame adorn either side. There's a man who sits shirtless, bearing some sort of loincloth to cover himself. He wears fine jewelry. Gold, turquoise, some silvers. His fingers are all adorned with stone and gold. To the left of you, there is a large black circle, polished obsidian. There are others in here, resting, relaxing, sort of lounging. They all bear clothing of the old Mexico. Some wear sandals. Others wear the large blue earrings, the plugs into the earlobe. They're not devoid of cloth or clothing. They wear precious love it. It's almost as if it denotes station. This is an old place. adorned with deities that have not been given proper worship for so long. Your guide steps forward, taking their sandals off to the side before they let their feet touch the pelt of a jaguar, the skin of a boar. They approach and give a slight bow before they drop to a kneel. Gentleman in the chair has a pelt sewn together with the various animals and skins thrown over his shoulder. He nods as they kneel. This Ioiwa, which only EREBUS would know, is a greeting in Nahuatl. That's roughly acknowledging the breath expended, the effort, the exertion that it took for a traveling party to arrive at their location.
Is there any loose soil in this chamber?
Along the sides of the pathways, where everyone else is lounging, there are sort of tarps, a mixture of tarps and pelts and such strewn about. This is all loose soil and stone.
EREBUS will remove their shoes before stepping up to beside where their guide has knelt, and he will crouch down, pick up some soil and bring it to his lips, looking up to the man in the chair, and then he'll just take a moment to hold that soil to his lips before setting it back in its place, and he just says, "Piali."
Yali. Ioiwa.
Continuing in the Nahuatl tongue, he'll just say, "We have cause to speak, but first we would offer a gift." He'll kind of gesture to his child, or apropos, and then gesture to the ghoul and kind of bring him forward.
He comes forward.
Who
Gesture
does?
to apropos, the
I'll-
childer that
I gotta stop him before he touches the pelts. Yeah, remove the shoes.
He does, as you kind of like grab his arm. He discards his shoes and steps forward.
in congruence with your ways, a war party led by Victor BELLSHANE took this captive, one of Fiorenza Savona's blood thralls, and we offer this sacrifice to you.
Was that in English or was that still in Nahuatl?
Still speaking Nahuatl for now.
This figure rises, steps down, moves toward the ghoul, sort of inspects him. He's silent for a moment. Victor, Trey, I have to know what you're up to in this moment.
Are we on
Would
to-
I have understood when EREBUS said my name, or would that have translated differently in Nahuatl?
Pronouns or proper nouns?
Yeah, it would have been very clearly Victor.
When he said my name, I would have taken my shoes off, stepped forward, and given not as deep of a bow, but I would have given a bow as respect that I'm in his home.
Trey, what are you up to?
Oh, am I supposed to go up there? what what everybody else is doing.
Monique
I
kind of
mean,
looks at you and says, "All right, fucking stand up with your back. Let's go."
oh, okay. I'll take. I'll take my shoes off, I guess. I guess I'll approach. I won't kneel, but I'll bow. I'll give a bow.
This individual kind of inspects the ghoul before speaking in Nahuatl to you, EREBUS. What tongues do you all speak?
Unfortunately, the only common tongue amongst us is the tongue of those who settled north of here. Conquerors.
Hmm.
I can translate if need be.
Would never sully myself with a conqueror's tongue. Do they speak Spanish?
Not well.
Can you
Though
translate
they were
that?
also conquerors.
We have reclaimed it as best we can. But you are right.
I will translate as best as I'm capable. Your people and mine have shared history. And as a young god of the night, I learned your tongue.
The god of the night. What name, cousin?
Called EREBUS. It's a name that my mother gave me. May I show you the spirits that live in their blood, so you may judge them better.
I may see their blood before the night is over. This can wait.
Then one more gift. From me to you. I will make a very quick rouse check for this discipline. I will get hungrier, so that'll take me to 2. But EREBUS will use Fata Morgana, and he'll pull a knife from his jacket and run it over his palm. And it looks like it cuts, but it doesn't. It's all an illusion. And from the open wound, thousands of hummingbirds fly out and surround him and flap around him and will land and then fly away, and complete with sound, touch sensation, smell.
He himself doesn't look impressed with the chamber. You can see various faces smiling, giving their oohs and ahs. Trey, Victor, you all see this as well, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not misunderstanding Fata Morgana.
Everyone sees it, hears it, smells blood.
I'll whisper to whoever's next to me. What the fuck is going on?
Victor, you want to take it, or you want me to need to take it?
So that's one that I don't know if Victor's ever seen.
I know for a fact Monique hasn't seen it. She would just be confused and in awe.
I believe he is using some discipline to pay a respect.
Butterflies? Okay. I mean, whatever floats their boat.
With it.
We'll turn to Victor. What would you like me to say?
Hello. I apologize for coming here unprepared and not capable of sharing common language with you.
EREBUS will relay what Victor is saying, but he'll preface it knowing that this man understands the Conqueror's tongue with I think this way your majesty is preserved.
We come here seeking peace, if not an alliance between ours and yours. I know that our history is wrought with injustices. And I know that what we are fighting for and trying to reclaim, which in our eyes was previously our land, was yours first. And we come here in hopes that we could share it. We are not our ancestors' entirety.
What alliance, he speaks EREBUS in Waddle, could you possibly want? What alliance could we possibly make? For the... Unless you want to add your own flavor or like sort of misspeak certain words. We can also, of course, take this as you just translate, if you so choose.
EREBUS will, kind of conferring with him for a moment. This new Sabat, they live by a different code. They wish to bring about a new kind of night where your people are not sequestered to the domain of Kamazats, where the night air and all of its streets and all of this city that rightfully belongs to you is shared equally between us. And then I'll relay all of that to Victor.
Does he still respond the same way? If not an alliance of neutrality, we won't mess with you and you won't mess with us. An alliance of assistance where we can help you, help us, that ends Lorenza's head, the Camarilla gone. Something where we can share Mexico between the Sabbat and the Peace and Ops.
Yukaim asking for peace or war. So which is it? Do you want peace with us? Or do you want our warriors? You came of two minds. Choose.
I came leaving the choice to you, sir, as it is your people. If I could have what I seek, it would be your warriors. To fight alongside you. The rewards together.
What rewards could we share? I hear your name whispered. Bishop. We have seen clergymen come. So what could a bishop hope to offer me?
Share the land together. You come back. Instead of being...
They never left, Victor.
But they are not where they should be.
Not for us to decide.
I reside where I was reborn. I am home. I am in the 12th heaven. Look around you, Bishop. Iwikwaratetekoyan is here. I have brought it forth.
Just say to him in Noatan, you must forgive him. He has the harpy eagle in his blood. Flies high, he forgets what it is like to see from the ground.
He wants the Mictlan.
No. He wants what the other conquerors have built on top of it. Anyone would be a fool to think they could lay claim to what is rightfully yours. And I can say many things for Victor BELLSHANE, but he is not a fool. And he keeps the company of great warriors. TREY, Monique, they take the skins of jaguars. The honor of your people lives in their blood, whether they know it or not.
Show me.
Shall I show you, or would you like them to?
I would see your jaguar warrior.
TREY.
Hmm?
He wants to see you turn into the panther.
When did this become?
Smelled the blood on you when you came home.
There's visible discontent, but I will turn. I will shape change. Let me see. A success on the rouse check as well.
You change. TREY. Difficult to tell. He doesn't look impressed. Again, there's oohs and ahs from the sidelines. He nods. It's just, this one carries our blood. That does not explain why I would help your bishop.
I don't understand your meaning.
I am Camille. I am Shipitotek reborn. Mine is war of death, rebirth, liberation. A choking wind from the east. Why would I help someone who claims what lies above my home? There's a separation. You claim. The Mictlan is the bones, the earth, and this bishop would rule above. Why would I aid? Why would I wage war?
If I were you, I wouldn't. But I'm not you. I am a child of Quetzalcoatl. Were I Shipitotek reborn, I would relish war. I would take many captives. And I would let their blood coat the steps to my domain for generations. Does water need reason to flow? Does wind need reason to blow? The Camarilla has forgotten what lays beneath their feet, and they have sought to cage it and dismiss it and wash it away with cheap clubs, with museums said to glorify your people. They put the bare bones of your people on display and mock them. And they do this for their little game, to hide from those who would hunt them. They have forgotten that they have always been your prey.
And does your bishop remember?
He will, before the night's through.
I'm assuming the EREBUS isn't relaying anymore since he's talking. But I am looking him in the eyes while he's talking.
He hasn't started to relate yet.
Not EREBUS.
Ask him if we are to fight with him. We are to share this land. He understands how temporary it would be. If he understands that when my brother returns, when Huitzilopochtli comes home, he is not a sharing god. He guided the Mexico once to their homeland, and when he returns and sees it taken, whoever sits on the seat, whoever bears the crown, holds the scepter, he will open the gates of Mictlan and wash over whatever false king sits. Ask him if he understands this.
He wants to know if you understand how temporary an alliance with them would be. When the other war god returns from his long journey across the horizons, he will water the soil with the blood of all of those who are not the Mexica. Do you understand?
So be it.
King for a day. King for a week. Bishop for a few years. And this would satisfy him.
So he says.
Victor, give me a persuasion roll. Your choice of manipulation or charisma.
Would you consider this a tense situation?
Oh, without a doubt.
So my specialty would come into play.
Can I help?
Yeah. How would you like to help? You are, in this moment, still in the form of a panther. You can revert if you so choose.
I would definitely prefer to be back.
Yeah,
by
by all
now.
means.
Yeah. But I would help by trying to recite a passage that relates of some sort. Yeah.
I'll allow it.
There will come a time when an elder darkness will stir deep below the city, which has forgotten, and will surprise the elder, its children.
My caveat was going to be that by next session I needed a passage that you would actually have, but seeing as you already have one, by all means, I like it. Someone's been reading.
Oh. I also blood surged and failed.
Bringing you to what level of hunger?
2. Am I adding a die or
Add a
is
die.
he rolling? Okay. 9 successes.
Looks all of you over. Tell your bishop the city will be his. Tenochtitlan belongs to the Mexica.
They say they'll fight.
Excellent.
But first,
Thank you.
I accept your gifts. I grant you the honor of passing them on yourselves. Gestures towards the ghoul, and then looks up toward the flayed god behind him, and then toward the feathered serpent, and then toward the obsidian mirror. They wait for you.
He'll take out his knife and hand it to Victor. Take his heart.
Victor will lay him flat in front of Cleo's feet.
He'll kind of like gesture over to the obsidian mirror. There.
And then drag him to the obsidian mirror. I will sit at his head and begin to carve out his heart.
He wakes from this. Unconscious though he is, and without a tongue, he will begin to scream. Chamber is silent, save for his wailing. And Victor, as you carve, I'd like everyone to give me an occult and wits roll.
This doesn't fall under a common practice, correct?
More common than you would think, but no, not common enough for anything that you would realize now.
I have a tiny question.
Mm-hmm.
Could I sub this with academics with a specialty in world religions?
No, but I will grant you an extra die. As a matter of fact, yeah, just take the extra die.
6 successes, 4 of which being a crit.
4 successes.
4, 4, and 3. The wailing continues. The chamber is silent. As you watch all of this, gentlemen, it's strange. The warmth that's in this chamber. Things distort a bit. You think the mirror, that polished bit of obsidian, begins to smoke. You blink and it's gone. You blink again, it's returned. It's very strange. But as Victor carves the heart and presents his gifts, perhaps knowingly, perhaps unknowingly, the Tezcatlipoca mirror may or may not be smoking, as small tokens of friendship forged are pressed into your hands. Victor, yours bloody and stained this token. It is a relatively small bead. A carved turquoise skull meant to be tied into a beard or a long braid of hair. Art is presented and accepted. That is where we'll end tonight's session of Book of Saints. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank all of you for playing, and thank all of you for watching. We're going to go around the room real quick. Let everyone know who you are, who you've been playing, and where they can find you. EREBUS.
Hello again, everybody. I'm still Avery, believe it or not. At Avery DuBois on all the social medias. I'm a community ambassador right here on the Rolling Nomads. You'll see me in a lot of fun stuff like Berlin Bloodlines, where I play the Banker of Dunster and Unser Edgar Waite. Very soon you'll get to see me as Sense Sweetwater, a Galestalker Philodox of Bane and Blood. And that's on September 9th. But this evening I've played Erebus Kai, the follower of Set.
Excellent. Thank you very much for being with us, EREBUS. Trey?
Yeah. it's me, Edge the Nomad, aka Edge Survival. I play Trey on here, and some other characters on other things that's still on this channel. But yeah, it was a cool night.
Excellent. Thank you for being here. Victor?
I don't know who I am sometimes, but they tell me I'm Warren. And tonight I have played Victor BELLSHANE, and you can catch me on Saturdays usually playing Curious Spirit Distant Rain in our Colder Than a Twitch's Wit game.
Excellent. Thank you for being here. Me, myself, I've been your storyteller tonight, Gilbert Ramos. You can find me here and everywhere at Ramos the Nomad. We, of course, have been the Rolling Nomads. You can find us right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads for all of our actual plays, our gaming, our Azure Storytelling Studio. All of our good stuff happens right here first. And then 4 days later gets uploaded to our YouTube, youtube.com/Rolling Nomads. That's where you'll find all of our old episodes, or our backlog of series episodes and such. The best way to keep up to date with us on our uploads, our going live announcements, our new programming, our cancellations, our late starts, all that good stuff, it's going to be over on our Twitter @_Rolling Nomads and our Blue Sky @Rolling Nomads. That's the best way to keep up to date with all the stuff we've got going on. We're also on Instagram @_Rolling Nomads. That is getting kicked up and started very soon here. As well, we have our website, which I will link into the chat before we dip out, and our TikTok @_Rolling Nomads, where you can find key episodes or other key moments and highlights from these episodes and sort of interesting moments and such from the games and such. That's over on TikTok @_Rolling Nomads. I believe that is us in a handbasket, so we'll go ahead and get out of everyone's hair. Thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we will see you guys next time. Same place, same K-Nights. We'll see you soon.